I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I was trying to figure out how to, you know, I was trying to figure out how to like basically say it. You know what I mean? So I remember back in the day. This is my story, and this is how I'm feeling about this shit. Um, Back in the day, I remember seeing one of my first animes. Now, my mom said I saw anime back when I was like going to kindergarten, but the one that I really remember was Ghost in the Shell, the movie, the first movie. My friend had it. And so I was like blown away by it. You know, like, oh shit, because you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a new thing. It was more adult than like a cartoon. And I hate trying to equate cartoons and animes. Those are two different things. But when I first saw Ghost in the Shell, I was like, damn, like this is some real shit. And cause my friend was like, he had a lot of animes, like what was the dude's name? Tenchi? I think he had that. He had Neon Genesis. He had a lot of stuff. So I'm like, I was looking at the animes that he had. So I'm like, you know, this was cool. You know what I mean? This is some cool shit. And so I remember like, you know, watching anime like ever since then. So I think it was November 3rd, 2001. And my friend came over with a tape because I was raking the leaves that day. And so, you know, my mom told him that I was in the back. And so he came by and he was like, me and my brother, we're going to Chinatown. Do you want to come with us? So I was like, oh yeah, cool. And he was like, oh, here's this. And he almost like, now I'm kind of embellishing how he gave the tape to me. But it was like, I want to say like it was like some like nefarious drug deal. Like, yo man, like watch this tape. You know, I'm like, oh shit. You know, I'm like looking around, putting it in my pocket or something. But you know, but he gave me the tape. He gave me the tape. And he was like, watch this when you know, when we drop you off. Damn, I keep fucking this up. So I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, we went to Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got some stuff. Then we came back. And so I watched the tape. And it was Cowboy Bebop. You know, like on my shirt, it was Cowboy Bebop. And so I think it was the Ganymede Sea Rat episode. It was rather that or what was the third one? I think Hard Luck Woman. I think it was the one with Faye, and it was like they met at that casino. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, what the fuck is this? And so I've been hooked ever since. You know what I'm saying? Because Cowboy Bebop to me was the shit. That and Ghost in the Shell. Then when they came out with Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, I was like, dude. You know what I'm saying? It was like, dude. Like, those was the animes. To me, that was like the creme de la creme type shit. And you know, like, you know, playing video games like prior to all that. And you know, you're not thinking nothing of certain things. You know what I mean? You just liking the shit. Then my man showed me Akira. I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, nope. So it was like It was 3 animes. It was the Cowboy Bebop, Ghost in the Shell, and Akira was the shit. Now I've seen other animes like Princess Mononoke, because my history teacher gave me that. Like did he give me the tape? Because we had tapes then. He gave me I don't know. Did he give me the tape? Yeah, I think he did. So he was like, why? Because I used to draw a lot in class. He was like, I see you draw a lot. And he wanted to give me this tape. He was a cool dude. So, but it was those 3, Cowboy Bebop, Akira, Ghost in the Shell. But and then we always said, I don't give a fuck what anybody say. This is some real shit. This is a lot of people's experience. Back in the day when it was like hand-drawn animation, not this watered-down shit nowadays. I don't like animes now for a couple reasons. One is too watered down. Back in the day, that shit was done right. Now, they hand-drew it or hand-painted it or whatever, but it's like now they rely too much on Photoshop or like some Adobe program. It ain't good now. Anyway, so we always said this. A Japanese anime episode was better drawn and better done than a full-length American movie. Just the way the art style was. Like, we'll take like a Cowboy Bebop or something like that. You see what I'm saying? And then especially when you got to the movies, like with Knocking on Heaven's Door or like any of the Ghost in the Shell movies like that, the regular puppet, the one with the puppet master in it, Innocence, America couldn't touch that. So anyway, so like again, anyway, so like, you know, watching these animes and shit and playing these games, it was like, it was cool at a time, but then it was like, I'm starting to see certain shit that just wasn't jiving right. You know what I mean? Like, you're starting to see like insensitive racist shit in these animes. You know what I mean? Like, you got like Jinx from Pokemon, even though I wasn't into Pokemon like that, but it was just like, my friend was. He used to have the cards. But you see like Jinx, like Balrog from Street Fighter, Birdie from Street Fighter, like, you know, because like when Balrog used to get hit, he used to like, you know, his eyes used to get big, he poked out his lips. You know, you start seeing this like weird, like, it's not weird, but it's just like this racist type vibe in these animes. Like, it'd be like the characters with the big pink lips. And it was kind of like, nah, man, that just ain't cool, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no, certain people wouldn't get it. But just having these like racially insensitive caricatures in these animes basically put me off. That was like the final straw. You know what I mean? Like I used to like Samurai Champloo. That was another one that was cool. Because it was made by the same people that made Cowboy Bebop, I think. But, you know what I'm saying? But like when you started to get like a black character, they always had the big pink lips. They was like these like goofy characters or jokes. Now I remember me and my friend was playing like Mark of the Wolves when he had the arcade emulator. And we was talking, it was like this character, his name was Butt, B-U-T-T. And we was like, why did the black man have to be called Butt? And I'm like, yo, bro, what, like looking at this shit, like, what is up with that? Now, I don't know if that was like the American translation, like the Americans did this shit, or if that was like literally his name. But it was just like, this shit just wasn't right. It just wasn't cool. And I'm like seeing all this shit, and it was just like, you know what I mean? Like, to the point where I'm seeing, like, you know, they changed Jinx. They changed them from Blue. They changed, like, somebody else to, like, some other dude. Not in Pokemon, but another dude. They changed him to Blue. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was just like what is going on over there, man? Like, where you have these, like, crazy characters and shit, and then you just gotta, like, change them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, then you start seeing, like, you know, like, blackface over there and shit. You be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It's just so, like, off-putting seeing that shit. Like, you know, you wanna like the show or whatever, and then you be like watching the shit and be like, oh, this is cool, but then you come across these, like, racially insensitive characters and you be like, and then you just gotta put the shit down. You know what I mean? But, like, people that it don't affect, you know, they like, oh, I don't see the problem, guy. But this motherfucker, I do. You just ain't seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be cool if people use, like, stereotypes that affect other cultures. You know what I mean? Like the old stereotypes. Like, that shit just wouldn't be right. You know what? I'm deleting all these. But yeah, that shit wouldn't be right if it was like the other way around. You know what I mean? You know, because we got problems like, oh, okay, good. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, we have problems with the shit that's going on these days. You know what I mean? You know, people trying to call out shit. And like I said, you got these, like, characters, and that's honestly why. And then especially at the time, like in 05, I didn't have cable, so I wasn't watching Adult Swim. So the last anime that I really got into was Samurai Champloo. And Afro Samurai. But for the most part, like, I saw like maybe one episode of Kill la Kill because I was over my friend's house. But I never, like, watched it. Like Attack on Titan, I wasn't watching that. All this other shit, I wasn't watching. But again, it's just, like I said, trying to get into shit. Because I see these in these YouTube videos. Like, you be watching this dude, like, you be watching somebody. I don't know who, it don't matter who it is. And then all of a sudden, like, you just be watching it, you know, dude is cool. I like what he's saying. And then somewhere, like, later down the line in his video, somewhere, he's saying some racist shit. And you'd be like, whoa. You know what I mean? And it's just like, damn. I mean, that shit happens way too often. Like, I'm watching these, like, gaming channels and shit. Like, these dudes that be talking about games. And then, like I said, out of the blue, he's saying something crazy. And I'm like, I didn't even come there for that. You know what I mean? And it just, in the joke they'd be saying would be something real stupid. And it's not even funny. It's not even a funny racist joke. It's just something dumb. Or just like I said, I was watching this one video about this dude. And he was, like, doing some game shit. Like, actual doing some game shit. How to, like, make a landscape. And he had to say something. Like, because he said, because in games, The originals are the parents. The copies are the children. And so he's been saying children the whole time. Like material instance. And it's like, he's saying his thing and blah, blah, blah. And he's been saying children the whole time. But then out of the blue, he was like, oh, we got to put the chillin'. And so dude sit next to him was like, yeah, we can't say it. He was like, yeah. Like he knew he fucked up. And he said something. But see, that's a lot of the dudes, they think that their audience is all white or their audience is not black. So it's like, we're free to say what we want to say. And it's like, no, black people be watching your shit too, bro. And so I'm like, that shit just ain't cool. When you be like watching something, you be like, yeah, this is cool. But then you see like a Balrog or Birdie or Zach from Dead or Alive or some shit. And you be like, why? What's up with this, bro? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, especially like, just the climate that we're living in today. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. I mean, you be seeing like the wildest shit. I mean, the wildest shit these days. I mean, the shit is just so wild. You be like comparing black people to animals. You be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? You be like, wow. I mean, it's just so insane. I mean, just too much. But that's one of the reasons. That's like I said, that was the main reason why I was watching this. Like, to stop watching these animes and everything. Because it was just like the racially insensitive caricatures. I mean, I do respect dude who made Afro Samurai, though. And plus, like, Samuel Jackson is the shit. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the dude right there. So, but it was just like I said, like when you see these animes and everything, and you see a black character, he got big lips and all that, and it just looks so insane. It is like steel, bro. And it's just, and like I said, don't get me wrong, like the old animes, like I'll still watch them and shit, but it's just like I'll be trying to avoid anything that's looking crazy. Cause this shit was crazy. Like, you still doing this shit like after all this time, you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. It's just 100% insane still to this day. When you got like these caricatures that's just weird. You know what I mean? Now, maybe I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Like I said, I haven't watched animes in like eons. So maybe some shit has changed, but fuck it. But from what I've seen, I'm like, nah, bro. I mean, people got to do better. There's always black people that always got to do better. But everybody else is just scot-free to do what they do. And it's like, nah, fam. It's y'all threw the stones first. You know what I mean? Like, even with my shit, I don't have any like racially insensitive people in my shit. Everybody's just doing what they do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel the need to be making fun of a whole group of people off of old stereotypes. Like, I know the stereotypes exist, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna do that because it's just that's not who I am. You know what I mean? First and foremost. And I just wouldn't do it because this shit isn't funny to be like making fun of like the Asian dude with the big teeth and the Coke bottle glasses. Like what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Or like Mexican stereotypes. You know, I lived around Mexicans. You know what I mean? Like, the motherfuckers be working hard. Like, they're not lazy. Like, what the fuck is this? That's just me. I just wouldn't do it to I don't know. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like my man Mr. Lopez. You know what I'm saying? He got it in. But that's just me. That's just me. I just wouldn't be doing shit to be making fun of somebody. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like Balrog, he was just too much. And Birdie and all these other characters, and just way too much. But let me see where I'm at with this, because I had to fix this. Because even with my character Lang Ren in here, I've been debating about her for a good while, because I wanted her to wear, since this is another planet in another time period, like this is the year 2110, and it's on another planet. Like there's some connections between human culture and this culture. And Lang Ren is an Asian. She's Asian. There's no like black, white. They look black, white, Asian, whatever. But that's a human term of saying somebody's black, white, or whatever, Hispanic or whatever. So I was like debating her. Like I wanted her to wear like somewhat like kimonos, almost like sexier version of traditional Asian clothes. But then I was like, nah, because I have another Asian character that's not wearing stuff like that. But I wanted this particular character to wear it. But I was like, nah. I was debating it. I didn't want to be like, just because she's an Asian looking character, she was going to be wearing that shit. So I was like, I didn't know. So, but her personality, out of all the craziness that's going on, she's supposed to be one of the lighthearted ones. So she had the demeanor of like a anime character, just to break the whole darkness and what's going on that's going around. So I was like, since her personality is like an anime character, like I would just have her dressing like, skirts, like kind of like futuristic anime clothes, something like that, like a crop jacket with like a skirt, like crop top or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to go like, since she's an Asian looking character, she got to wear like futuristic Asian clothes, like futuristic traditional Asian clothes. I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? Because it would just be like, so I was debating her, like her shoes. I was like trying to figure out like, how her shoes should be. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't really done the shoes, because she was like the last holdout. Because I was debating her style. You know what I mean? Like I said, just because, you know what I mean? Like I'm not doing like the whole stereotypical shit. But like when you see these games and animes, they be like the characters with the big pink lips. Now it was one Asian dude, and he does like mangas. I was trying to get him, And he was like, he does like black characters, and they actually look right. Like they don't have big pink lips. Because I even messaged him on the comment section. I was like, I'm glad he didn't make them with big pink lips. I mean, they look like anime characters. Their skin is just darker. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to make them jet black and big red lips. You don't have to make them look like Balrog when he like hit Balrog and pause it when he gets hit. You'll see what I'm saying. Like you don't have to do that like Birdie from what was it, Street Fighter Alpha. Or even with Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. You see what I'm saying? Like he did have the slang, and I know he was modeled after Mr. T. I know that. But it's different from when you read it from then when it's acted. And I'm reading it. Barrett was never my favorite. My favorite character was Sid because he had the high win and he had the staff. So, but anyway, so when they remixed it, he just comes off as a big buffoon. Like they could have literally, since you're remixing everything, and then you got Yuffie, like she was in Midgar when Cloud fell through the church. Like that never happened because you could meet Yuffie in the forest past the Mithril Cave before you get to Junin. But then you really meet her when you're on the Wutai Island. But they remixed the whole thing. Now she's in Midgar. So if you're remixing the whole thing, you could have changed the dialect of his voice. He could have literally sounded like Dennis Haysbert. For those who don't know, what commercial, I think Allstate, he has the tall black dude with the deep voice, and he was the president in 24. He could have literally sounded like him and just not been a big buffoon. And it just comes off like, come on, bro. You see what I'm saying? And then you got like, even with games like one of them Batman games, and you had that King Albert dude. Like he looked like a gorilla. Like what is that? You see what I'm saying? And he wearing like a jersey and hip hop clothes. I saw that. I was like, whoa, is anybody saying anything about this shit? It's like shit like that. Like I would not make some I just wouldn't. Maybe I got enough sense more than these game developers and these people that making these decisions up at these places. But like I said, I just wouldn't be doing some shit like that because it's not only it's not cool, but what's the point of doing this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like I said in a couple of videos back, I was like, anybody that kills off the only black character in your game, movie, or TV show, you're racist. If they're not literally being there to do anything important, like on some real shit, not just serving white characters, but on some real shit, and then like you killing them off, you just racist. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how long you've been in the movie industry. If you killing off the one black person in your movie, or you making them look like a buffoon like Finn in Star Wars, then you racist, bro. I don't give a fuck what you say. Like, I got white characters in my shit. Me personally wouldn't make the one white character and just kill him off. Just be like, oh, this is what you get, white boy, or something. You know what I'm saying? Like stupid shit like that. Like I wouldn't do that. I mean, I got white characters that's actually doing some real shit. And it's not because like I'm like saying anything about it. It's just whatever. I don't know, man. It is ridiculous what's going on nowadays. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this racial climate that we living in, I mean, it's like you can't throw stones and not even hide your hand and act like you didn't even throw the shit. But then the stones to the people you're throwing them to, now you're like, oh, the people that we're throwing the stones at is the problem. And we never did anything to anybody in the first place. So where is this coming from? That's the thing. And it's just so weird, you know, like I said, this shit is coming out of the blue at that. Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is coming out of the blue. And I don't know who's socially engineering this shit, but I'm going to just say this before I go. You can't have two different groups, two different ethnic groups talking about white supremacy. You know what I mean? Because there's some people are alert and they like, well, we got to divide and conquer. And so now it's a whole different thing now. Because I rock with this Asian. I got an Asian friend, you know what I mean? He's a cool dude. Him and his brother. They some cool dudes. I never looked at him crazy or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's just crazy what's going on these days. Let me bring this down. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, the shit is insane. That's my story about anime. That's why I stopped watching the shit. Cause it was just getting, you know, you come across these little insensitive racist characters, you be like, nope. And you just gotta put the shit down and move on. But I'm done. I'm out. Wait for this to save. Like I said, I'm out of here. Money over stink holes, though, bro.